Hey, Dave from cheapwinefighter.com. Coming today in a wintry kind of mood. Here in Chicago, first we got snow. And then in a day or two, we're going to get cold down to single digits. And at least it waited till February to do all this to us. We kind of got through the first part of winter pretty much easy. But we are all in quarantine anyway, so here we go. Today I got a wine. An inexpensive wine, but a good one. Tribunal North Coast Red Blend 2018. $9.99 at Trader Joe's. This is a wine that Trader Joe's has had for a while. We did the first review in the 2008 vintage, and I actually put a link in the review we did today to the 2010 vintage. I haven't had this wine in 8 vintages. And it's a wine that there's a little bit of history here. They, back in the late 2000s, there's a wine called the Prisoner. It was a red blend. And it was the rage. It sold out every year. They would have release parties. And back in those days, I don't know if everybody remembers, but Australian Shiraz was all the rage. It was just big, bold, spicy wines that winemakers try to push the envelope on each and every time. It had to be bigger, it had to be bolder, and still somehow have balance. And they just went for it. And the Prisoner was big, bold, modern wine, but with a little bit more of a California cool. You know, it had all those flavors, but it was just chilling. And it sold out. It was crazy, and it didn't follow the old rules. It didn't do the Bordeaux style, didn't do the Rhone Valley style. It didn't follow any rules. It was a new wine, a new red blend, and it was hugely successful. And there was a lot of competitors to it, a lot of knockoffs, a lot of that, because it was based on really ripe, really juicy, flavorful grapes. And California's full of those things. Now, this is from the North Coast. North Coast is Sonoma, Napa, Mendocino, Lake County, Solano, and Marin, I think. The last two don't have that much wine going on, but the first 4 are big on wine. It's from fancy wine areas. But competitors could get good ripe red grapes in California. It's what California kind of did. So there was a whole slew of Prisoner, I don't know if you want to call them knockoffs, but in the style of kind of wines. I'm going to take a sip of this one because this is really a good tasty little big red, solid red wine. The funny thing is, in the ensuing 10 years, this is more normal nowadays. I mean, wine kind of went, especially value price wine, kind of went into big, bold, and flavorful, but not too much anything. Still having balance. And that's what this does. But back in the day, it was semi-radical. And it was, people were doing, ooh, they didn't know. And, you know, the old school guys are up in arms, but it's still going. It's still good. Still drinks great. Oh, and this is Trader Joe's wine, but it's made by the Vintage Wine Group, I think it is. I put a link to theirs. They do a bunch of wines that you probably had before. They've been making it for Trader Joe's for going on 12 years and keeping the price the same. So or at least as close as I can recall. So that's pretty good. This is a good red wine. If you want a good red blend that's got some little bit of complexity, a little bit of boldness to it, a little bit of body to it, a little bit of texture to it, the tannins and the spice can get a little bit chewy. Yeah, I'm gonna take another sip. Yeah, I mean, you can pay more, but you can't get better. You know what I'm saying? This is a good wine's a good wine. Doesn't matter what it costs. I mean, there's $150 great wines or good wines, and there's $10 wines that are good. And, I don't like to go, oh yeah, that's better because it costs more. No, I kind of think it's better because they did it for less. So that's me, Dave from cheapwinefighter.com. I think I'm going to do another vintage Prosecco for Valentine's Day, because I'm thinking more people are familiar with Prosecco than they are with champagne when it really comes down to it. And vintage is something new or something that's not quite happening all the time for Prosecco. So that's it for me. Keep it cheap, stay warm, adios, stay safe, and I'll be talking to you. Bye-bye.